Viral videos have emerged from a hospital in Gurugram where relatives can be seen running around and alleging that the hospital staff abandoned ICU patients and ran away. This after the hospital ran out of oxygen. The video that you can see on your screens is from the Kriti Hospital in Gurgaon sector 56, where 6 people lost their lives last Friday night. That's the 30th of April due to a shortage of oxygen. In the video, you can see empty chairs, patients, relatives asking the police why the hospital staff is missing. Now, the hospital director, Dr. Swati Rathore, told NDTV that despite raising an alarm over the shortage of oxygen supply, they got no help.
सर आपके होते हुए डॉक्टर लोग कैसे भाग सकते हैं सारे पेशेंट को अंदर डेथ छोड़ के? हम नहीं भाग सकते डॉक्टर को, हम जानते हैं डॉक्टर ही हो। कहाँ से यार कोई क्राइम करके जाएगा, आप रोक नहीं सकते उसको। सब लिख रखी है क्या? गरम नहीं ठंडा। भाई साहब जिसके घर से 2 बंदे जाते हैं ना उसको पता होता है गरम या ठंडा। आपके होते हुए यार कैसे जा सकते हो? हम किसी को बांध सकते हैं क्या?
Hospital director had claimed that she'd asked her staff to hide in the canteen to save their own lives, as just 6 days ago on the 24th of April, these are videos from the 24th of April, attendants of other patients had violently assaulted their staff and an FIR had been registered by the hospital. The footage you see is of the day that the hospital staff were beaten up by relatives of patients. Well, in the pictures that you will now see, you can see frantic relatives knocking on the ICU door, and inside the ICU, you can see the pictures of the dead patients. The patients who died because of the lack of medical oxygen. The doctors locked them up in the ICU and went into hiding.
Dead. Sub. ऐसे पड़े रहे.
We are currently standing outside the Kriti Hospital in sector 56 in Gurgaon. This is in news right now because there has been a constant oxygen shortage at this hospital like many others, but here on Friday night 6 people lost their lives due to oxygen shortage at this hospital. Now you see oxygen cylinders here, supplies a little better since last Friday after this incident happened and 6 people lost their lives. What exactly happened that night on Friday is that according to hospital director Dr. Swati Rathore, we spoke to her, and what she told us is that since 2 p.m. in the afternoon they had been raising SOS alarms to all the authorities, all the government authorities. They had been asking them, telling them that they are running out of oxygen in this hospital. At that point, the 6 people who lost their lives that night included 3 people who were in the ICU and 3 people who had been in the regular wards. A total of 15 COVID patients were present in this hospital at that point. This is a 50-bedded hospital. Since 2 p.m. they started raising SOS calls, but nobody was addressing their calls. No authorities came to their rescue. By 11 p.m. they ran out of oxygen. 6 people lost their lives, 3 in the ICU, 3 in the regular wards. And that is when even relatives of patients started running around. They tried to also vandalize the hospital here, tried to look for staff, but there was none to be found anywhere. There are videos that have emerged from that night where relatives are going around asking for help, but there is no hospital staff present at that moment. Later, the police came in, tried to help the situation out. The police also brought certain oxygen cylinders. Now, according to the hospital director, she says that because just last week there had been another incident where many of the relatives had tried to attack the hospital staff over the issue of oxygen shortage. That is why she asked that night for a hospital staff to run to safety as soon as she realized that there had been casualties. because she said that my staff would also have ended up losing their lives. And just last week there are very clear videos where their staff did also face physical harm. She also had lodged a police complaint for the incident that had happened just the last week prior to this incident. In Gurgaon with camera person Sushil Rathi, this is Kriti Hospital for NDTV.